What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are looking at the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jason Voorhees. I'm not looking at Pamela. I'm sorry. You have some cool kills. I'm not looking at Imposter Jason. They neutered the hell out of that movie. It's not even worth it. We're looking at the man himself, Jason Voorhees, and his top 20 kills of all time. So let's get to it. Number 20 is going to be Jason axing the hell out of the very despisable Melissa in part 7. Melissa spends most of this movie making Tina's life much worse, and we grow to very much dislike Melissa. So the movie was waiting for this moment, we were waiting for this moment, and it does not disappoint. And I especially love the part where Jason just takes her ragdoll body and heaves it over the TV. The camera doesn't cut away. Actually gets a little bit of a chuckle out of me. This is a great kill. Number 19 is also a kill that gets a pretty good chuckle out of me, but that's okay. I still love this moment. I love this kill, and it's absolutely memorable. If you've seen the final chapter, it's Rob's death. When they go in the basement, he goes back down to get his knife. He is attacked by Jason, and then he utters this infamous line. Every time it happens, I absolutely love this moment. I love this kill. It's one of my favorite moments of my favorite Friday the 13th movie. Number 18 is going to come from my second favorite Friday the 13th movie, Part 6, Jason Lives, and it's the RV sequence with Nikki and Court. They just got done shagging like rabbits, and now Court's driving them back, and we kind of think, oh, maybe they got away. Did they get away? Why are we still with them? And of course, Jason pops out of the bathroom, grabs Nikki, pulls her in, and after a short struggle, smashes her face up against the wall. And it's a really cool moment. It's a really cool effect. I love it. And then the still shot after he kills Court and he's standing on the RV. Absolutely badass moment. And Nikki's kill is definitely one of my favorites. Now at number 17, we're going to follow a head smash with another head smash. We've got Doug's shower smash in part 4. This is absolutely an homage to Psycho, the shower scene. And this is Jason's twist on it. He doesn't do it with a knife. He uses his bare hands and he crushes Doug's face and head up against the tile shower bath. It's very effective. It's quick. It's brutal. It's Jason to a T. I love this kill. I love this movie. Number 16 is a severely underrated kill in my opinion. It comes from part 8. Jason takes a big ass boat, and it's when he kills Ava. She had just discovered Tamara's mangled body. It's a really short chase scene. She ends up in a disco, and it's a really effective choking scene. Now, Jason, underground tunnels be damned, he be teleporting in this scene. He gets her, he chokes her to death. It's a really effective part. And then Kelly Hu actually takes the slam. So we're talking the Scorpion King sorceress just taking a slam. No stunt woman. I love it. I love this kill. The movie, but it's an okay kill, and there's not going to be the last one we see from this movie. Number 15 is super cheesy, but I love it all the same, and it's still iconic. Comes from part 3. It's a 3D movie. They couldn't help but throw a bunch of hokey 3D shots into this movie. This one at least gets a chuckle if you're into that sort of thing. It's obviously Rick's death. Chris and Rick come back to the camp, and they notice everybody's dead. And as they're kind of splitting up, searching around, Rick gets attacked by Jason. And I do like the sequence because he's sort of held back from Chris. She's hollering for him, and you see him there. He's struggling. Jason's got his mouth covered, and then he just squeezes the ever-loving shit out of his head, and his eye pops out towards the camera. It's not a great effect, but I mean, given the time, they did the best they could, I suppose. It's memorable. We're still talking about it all these years later, so deserves a spot on the list. Number 14 is going to be the triple paintball kill from part 6. I'm typically more of a subtle entrance kind of guy, but if you're going to drop in like this, you need to at least finish, you know, and he absolutely finishes. One swing, whop, 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 3 heads, and an absolutely stunned observer who's ready to meet his own demise as well. Again, if you're going to showboat, you got to make the shot. And I got a special one at lucky number 13. This one probably could have been higher, but I figured number 13 had to be badass. Lawrence's death in the remake is badass. I mean, he puts up one of the best fights against Jason. If he had gone up against some of the other Jasons, he might have survived. He actually gets away, fights him off. He's running, he's sprinting. He doesn't fall over. This Jason just happens to be the most lethal version we've ever seen. Snags an axe, runs after his ass, and freaking heaves it like he's an Olympic fucking axe thrower. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen this man do. And then he leaves him there as bait, hoping that the other people will come and try to help him. They smartly don't. And then he puts Lawrence out of his misery by flicking him over and literally throwing him down onto the axe as it bursts through his chest. It's a great kill. It's a great moment. Again, probably could have been higher on this list, but I wanted number 13 to be pretty badass. Lawrence, you tried, man, but you were just going up against Derek Mears. In my mind, one of the best Jasons we've ever had. Holy shit, this moment was awesome. Number 12 is going to be the sheriff's death in part 6. Again, one of my favorite Friday movies. This is apparently Kane Hodder's favorite kill that he didn't do himself. It's absolutely brutal. It's brutal because it's quick. It's brutal because he's trying to save his daughter. And this guy was an absolute prick through the entirety of the movie, but him going out like a hero, fighting off Jason with no guns, just a big ass rock, and then Jason just folds him over. It's quick, it's painful, and God, look at all that cake. Woo! Number 11, I promise this is the last kill from part 6, but it's the opening kill, the very first kill that zombie Jason does when he is reanimated by Tommy and Tommy's friend Halls. It's the heart punch. I mean, he literally just turns around, punches straight through the dude's chest, and he's holding his heart. There was some nice foreshadowing with a line earlier when he said his heart couldn't take any more of this. You're damn right it can't. You certainly can't take a heart punch from Jason motherfucking Voorhees, that's for sure. Badass opening, my favorite opening of the entire franchise, and this is certainly an amazing kill. My favorite kill of the movie. Number 10 is going to be Jimmy's death in part 4. Now, this one may be more famous for the line that he utters right before he dies.
Hey, Ted, where the hell's Corkscrew?
Doesn't mean that this kill is any less awesome. I love this kill. Again, it's quick, it's fast, it's brutal. He gets two-pieced. I mean, he gets a corkscrew through the hand and then a cleaver to the face. Not ideal. Now, I have to ask you one question, though. What's more memorable, this kill or his infamous dance scene? Comment down below and let me know. Number 9 is going to be Mark's death in part 2. Now let's just throw aside the fact that he gets macheted with the wrong side of the machete. This kill is still damn near perfection. The build-up is amazing. The fact that, Mark was about to get laid, you're actually starting to really like this guy, you're rooting for him, and then you got the slow approach from the back, the jump scare cleaver to the face, and then the part that really freaked me out as a kid is watching his wheelchair just fall down the stairs backwards as his lifeless body just kind of flails. It's a really unsettling scene. It's a really effective kill, and it shows that Jason doesn't give a shit who it is. If you get in his way, you're getting backshotted. Number 8 is going to be Amanda's death in the remake. Now, we know that Jason Voorhees loves to utilize sleeping bags to kill people. We might see that a little bit later, spoiler alert. But this one, man, I don't know. This might be the worst possible way to die on this entire list. Amanda is strung up over an open fire and basically just cooked to death. It's a horrifying way to die, and that's really why it lands so high on the list. Of all the things that Jason does to his people, this might be the most cruel. And then her boyfriend is there with a bear trap, just has to watch it happen. That kind of adds a layer of just sympathy. It makes you just empathize for these people. And the fact that we thought that these might be the main characters, only for them all to be dispatched in quick succession to my second favorite opening in the franchise, just adds to the shock value. I love this whole sequence, and this is the best kill of the bunch. Number 7 is going to be Andy's handstand machete kill. Now, this is part 3. We're doing a little bit of another Psycho homage. They like to pay homage to Psycho, but they don't actually kill the girl in the shower. The bait and switch is that Andy's about to get split in half, and I love that he handstands his way into the room. I have to admit, until I made this video, I don't know how, but I never noticed Jason standing there, like pretending to be a lamp, just waiting. And then he steps out, he brings the machete down right between Andy's legs. Every guy winces in pain. And I think it's a really inventive way to shoot too. They put a plexiglass floor and they put a camera under it and they shot it from the downward angle, which is unique. I mean, they could have easily just cut away like they always do. We don't see a lot of the gore until after the fact when she discovers his body up in the rafters, but it's a really awesome, brutal kill. It's memorable. And again, it makes every guy, every girl too, and nobody wants to be hit there. Certainly, it makes you wince. It's a very, very effective kill. I love it. Number 6 is going to be Trent's death in the remake. Now, has there ever been a bigger douchebag in these movies than Trent? I mean, he was put in this movie to die, and for us to cheer when he gets killed. And thankfully, the theatrical cut's okay, but the extended version, if you've seen the extended version of this kill, it is absolutely brutal, way more brutal than the version that most people have seen. After Jason sticks him in the back with the machete, face up, he grabs the underside and literally like doesn't saw him, but like just kind of gets him up in there, and you can just hear it and you can see the pain in Trent's face as he's just getting absolutely destroyed. And then when the truck finally starts, because you know these trucks don't start on the first turn, Jason throws him and skewers him on the back of this guy's truck, and he's just driven away as he's dying or probably already dead at that point. Very satisfying death to an absolute shithead of a character. We were all waiting for this moment, and the movie did not disappoint. Kicking off my top 5 is Jason versus Julius. In part 8, Jason takes a big ass ship. I'm sorry, this time they actually make it to Manhattan. We've made it to Manhattan, and Julius is running from Jason, scales a building, realizes he turns around, Jason's there. He has no choice. He's going to have to show him what he's got. So Julius starts punching the absolute shit out of Jason Voorhees in his mask. I also don't understand that, but I guess what are you going to do? You got to do something. So he's just working the body, working the face, backing him up. He actually is moving Jason. He moves him pretty much the whole way across the top of this building, and we're just kind of waiting for Jason to stop taking this shit. Finally, Julius just invites it.
Take your best shot. Motherfucker.
And take his best shot, Jason does. Jason ends Julius with one punch, decapitates the man, sends his head down into a garbage bin for a hell of a three-pointer. It's a great kill. It's one of the only redeeming qualities of this movie, aside from Ava's kill that I mentioned earlier. These two moments are really great. The rest of the movie, you know, you've seen it. Number 4 comes from one of my least favorite movies in the franchise, Jason Goes to Hell. And unfortunately, for people that aren't as old as me, if you haven't seen the original cut of this movie, you don't own the old VHS or DVD, you haven't seen the uncut version of this kill. It's when he skewers the lady that's having sex in the back and splits her in half. And I mean, the version that you can see today is pretty gnarly, but the original uncut version was even worse. And this is by far one of the most brutal ways that Jason has ever killed anybody. It's quick, it's disgusting, and I mean, if you're gonna go, I guess that's the way I'd want to go, but still, whoo, if only you guys could see the original. You guys have to come over and borrow my VHS sometime. Number 3 is going to be Trey's death from Freddy vs. Jason. Now, we met this guy. We only get to know him for about 10 minutes, and that was about 9.5 minutes too long. The only part that I enjoy when this guy is on screen is his death. And again, he's introduced for that very reason. It's effective. We don't even need the entirety of Trent's screen time to hate this guy. We hate this guy immediately. But anyway, Jason pops out. Trey rolls over. He gives up the back. You never give up the back. Anyway, Jason stabs this guy. I counted like 10 or 11 stabs. It was vicious. That alone probably would have did the trick. But, you know, Jason's not a patient, zombie killer. He wants to end this guy immediately. And he grabs both ends of the bed and just splits this guy backwards, So it's really, really rough to watch. Very, well, not rough to watch. It's rough if you were in that position, but it's very satisfying to watch for us because we hated this prick. It's awesome to watch him die. Number 2 is going to be Jane's sleeping bag tree smash. Now, I'm really torn about this one because every part of me wants to see the unrated version where Kane gets to smack this girl against the tree 3, 4, 5, 6 times just to show how, like, savage and brutal that Jason is. But at the same time, the fact that they had to cut it down to 1 sort of has a similar effect, just in a different way. It shows us how freakishly strong this zombie Jason is. I mean, he just picks her up and smack, 1 whack against the tree and she's dead as a doornail. So while they didn't get to execute it the way they wanted to, it's still one of the best kills in the franchise. It's a lot of people's number 1. It's my number 2. Silver medal ain't too bad. And at number 1, if you've been paying attention, you probably have a pretty solid guess of what it is because it's not anywhere else on the list. And of course, it's in the top 20. It's the number 1 kill. It's my number 1 kill. It's a lot of people's number 1 kill. It's the cryo face smash from Jason X. Now, regardless of how you feel about this movie, you could hate this movie. You could think it's the stupidest thing in the world. You know this kill's badass. You know it. You know it in your heart. You just don't want to admit it. But for a lot of us, this is the creme de la creme. This is the best kill in the franchise. The effects crew, both visual and practical, holy shit, were they firing on all cylinders? I mean, the cryo effect when she freezes is top notch, and then when he actually smashes her frozen face into the table, it looks unbelievably real and effective, and that's what makes it so unsettling. Is it doesn't look fake to me. It actually looks real. It's creepy. It's sort of sudden. I mean, we didn't know what he was going to do with her frozen head, but that works and it's effective. So, y'all, that's my list. This is just my opinion. If you don't agree, that's fine. It takes all types of people to make the world go around. We're not going to agree on everything, and that's why these conversations are fun. So please comment down below. Let me know which ones I left off the list. I mean, the dude has over 100 kills at this point, so obviously there's probably some decent ones that I left off the list, but these are my favorites pretty much in the order that I enjoy them, except for number 13. Probably should have been a little bit higher, but give you a little treat there. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Be good people. Be good to each other. We'll catch you next time.